What's going on, gang? This is Ian coming back at you with another Motivational Monday video. And this week, I'm going to talk to you about something that I feel like doesn't get touched on quite enough. And it's something that's becoming a very big problem, or something that needs to be addressed, at least specifically. And that is when to draw the line between your personal and professional relationship. Now, before we get into any of that stuff, I need you to go ahead, hit that subscribe, hit that like button, turn your notifications on. Make sure you're getting all the videos that we're putting out to you guys every single week. So make sure you have all that stuff turned on. Getting back into this. There has been, obviously, with all of the movements that have been happening all around the world lately, there has been a big problem with certain companies, or maybe business partners, or whoever you look at, where they might say some outlandish shit on social media that doesn't quite represent you, and it will make you look bad, essentially, because you're kind of guilty by association. I don't think that's getting touched on enough because it's a big deal. These are just my opinions. This is just how I feel about the whole situation. I don't know. We do everything independently. That doesn't mean that there aren't people that we contact for things, but we pretty much do everything on our own. That's how we like it. We don't like to deal with a lot of outsider people telling us what to do and how to do it. You know, you can call us failures because we don't have a record deal and there's not people trying to direct our shit, all the time. I don't really give a f. So we like to have everything in our control. The huge benefit with that is that we get to make the rules, not you. And when I say you, I mean these companies. Yes, they have guidelines that we have to follow, but we don't have to mess with them. We don't have to deal with them. We don't have to sign contracts with them. We don't have to associate with them in any way. If we want to, that's up to us. There's been plenty of backlash online, like I said, with all the movements that have been happening, that maybe one CEO or one representative to a certain company that you're associated with might say some very outlandish stuff online. They might say something about BLM or the LGBTQ community, or what, sub in anything, and they say something very negative towards that. Now you're guilty by association, and now you're at the point where, do I want to be associated with this potential bigoted company, or whatever it may be? Because people, unfortunately, will look at you like that. Even if you don't feel that way, like I said, it's guilt by association, and you're kind of already f***ed right there. We've had a few different people and companies and venues and things like that get a hold of us to play their places. Anytime that happens, we always check them out ahead of time. We always look at their social media accounts. If it's a venue, we look at the venue. What's it look like? What are we working with? What kind of staging details do we have? All of that stuff, it matters. And you should do your homework, and it only will benefit you. And if you come across something where, maybe it's a venue in particular, and they're saying some very outlandish things or very abrasive things, you have to weigh your options. Is it going to benefit us playing there, or is it going to make us look bad? Is this going to negatively impact our careers? Careers, I say with a loose term, because, people have different opinions on what your career is, but it's your image. You're in charge. So you have to take all of those things into account. This whole Confederate flag nonsense and stuff that's going on, I don't agree with it personally. It's just not my thing, and you can shit on me all you want. I really don't care. With everything that is happening, whether you agree or disagree or any of that, is it beneficial for you to, let's say, play somewhere that has that maybe in the background, or that's kind of one of their staples of their image or something like that? Is that going to be beneficial to you right now in all of this stuff that's going on? My opinion, no, I don't think so. You can say whatever you want. You can call me a pussy, libtard. I don't care. I really don't. But if you're not looking at what the defamation of your image could be, I don't personally think that you care about your career, because in the times of that, like right now, that can be immediate career suicide. Like I said, some of you are gonna say, well, you know, what career? You guys don't do this, you don't do that. Look, man, I love this band. I love music in general. I love playing live. I don't ever want to do something that is going to mess that up. And absolutely, I will always do background checks on wherever we're going to play and whoever we're going to be associated with. Because I refuse, not just me, everybody in this band, we refuse to be associated with people who are going to make us look bad in the long run. Now, sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes you just have no idea that shit's coming. Everything could be fine, and bang, somebody makes some kind of super wild statement, like I said online, and now you're going, oh God, what do we do? That's when you have to make the decision. Should you stay? Should you go? Ultimately, you have to do what you feel is right for your band, your situation, your company, whatever it is, that you're basing this off of. Everything is so touch and go these days. We're in crazy days right now. And you really don't know when people have hit their breaking point and they're just going to lose their shit online, and now you're going, well, that's not us. Like, that guy's over there, and people go, well, yeah, you're signed to whoever, now you too. Like I said, you have to figure out when is the most professional time, or when is the proper time for you to cut the cord and just do it on your own. Most people don't realize that they can do almost all of this on your own. You don't have to deal with most of the people that you deal with professionally. You can do all this shit by yourself. Is it easier with these people? Yeah, of course it is. Do they have a place in the community and in the music industry? Absolutely, or they wouldn't be there in the first place. There's always going to be shitheads amongst the group. Now, you don't always know them ahead of time, and eventually you have to weed them out. But you really absolutely need to find out where you're going to stand in all of this, because it will come down the pipe all the way to you at some point. If you're represented by, or if you're associated with somebody that has currently a negative reputation on social media or in business or whatever it is, you are going to be guilty from that. It's just how shit is. With us, there's plenty of people that I don't particularly care for that we deal with personally, but I keep those business relationships 100% business. I do my job, you do your job, and that's it. As long as I'm doing my job, they should be doing their job 100%, regardless of a personal relationship, whether you like me or not. If I create results every single time, I better get what I work for. Some people will argue that, I'm not saying I deserve anything. I'm saying I work for everything that I have. And that's two different things. If you're one of these bands or one of these businesses and you're making outrageous claims on social media especially, you better buckle in, because your ass is headed for a bumpy ride. Because whoever sees that stuff, they will hunt you, they will gut your entire past, and they will pull out the shittiest shit that they can find. They will murder you online in a heartbeat. We've all seen that. So if you're gonna make some outrageous claims, if you're gonna say some super wild shit, you better have the squeakiest, cleanest past out of anybody you have ever met professionally. Because if not, I would shut the fuck up. You can disassociate with people quietly. You don't have to make a big stink about it. And when you need to do that, or if you feel like that's necessary, you can say, look, I think it's time for us to move on. If you absolutely feel like you need to get away from whoever or whatever the corporate entity is that you feel like is ruining your reputation, you will find a way. If you're worried about your career, or if you're worried about how you're gonna look and how you're represented, then do your homework. Watch them. Scout people the way they scout you. Record companies used to scout bands for a year before they did anything with them. Why can't you do that with the companies that you're going to potentially invest hundreds or thousands of dollars or years of your life into? You can absolutely do that. And then you have the choice to not with them if you don't want to. That's all up to you. Everything is in your control. If you're not under a label, or if you're doing everything independent, it's all you. You got this. You make the choices, you make the calls, you choose who that you deal with. If there are people that you don't want to deal with, don't. Just don't do it anymore. That's my opinion. Like I said, you can call me right or wrong. I don't care. I do everything I can to make sure that we are represented as professionally as we possibly can at all times. Yes, I speak very plainly and clearly. I usually don't bullshit people that often. It's just not who I am. If I say something, that means I usually spent quite amount of time thinking about it beforehand. I'm not normally irrational, and I always try to put my best foot forward when it comes to what our reputation is going to be in a whole, because it matters. I don't want anybody to ever look at us and be able to use something like that against us, because it's not just me. There's 3 people here, and I have to worry about, their reputation and how they feel about everything. That's what you absolutely should be doing. Come together as a group, make sure you're all on the same page, before you do something that can really sink you. I've seen a couple of Facebook posts lately, and there was a guy from here in Ohio who made a very, very, very racist post, and I remember reading somebody's comment, and he just told him straight up, was like, look, your band, it's done. It's over. It's over for you guys. You will never be able to basically do anything professionally in a band, not in Ohio. And he's absolutely right, because one crazy post, where you maybe have gotten sick of seeing something, and that's it. It's over. Not only have you ruined it for you, but you've ruined it for the entire band. And the years and years that you have spent building something up, it can all be shattered in one pissy little rant online. It's not just you. They said it's companies or whoever you deal with. It can all be just like that. Shit can all be over in a heartbeat. Today's episode seems a little bit more like a rant. I didn't even make any notes for it because it's something that I've been seeing a lot lately, and I really wanted to put it out there because it's important to me. My reputation, our reputation is very important to me, and I want yours to be just as important to you because it matters. I don't want to look at any band out there and be like, God damn it, why did they have to say that? Why did the one guy in the band have to pipe up at the wrong time in history to say something, and now the whole band is trashed? Keep yourself in check, guys. Make sure that you're keeping tabs on companies that you deal with, and if somebody goes overboard or crosses the line, you guys need to sit down together and really hammer that out and figure out what you're going to do. Do you want to be associated with companies that are, pushing back in the wrong way, or do you even care, really? Because some of you guys might say, I don't really give a fuck. I don't care what anybody says. I'm in it for me or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you might think this entire episode right now is just trash because you don't care what anybody says. And if that's the case, good for you. I applaud that. I'm not on that side, and that's okay. Do your homework, guys. Always scope them out the way that they're going to scope you out, and I think you'll be okay, and I think that you won't regret that. So let me know in the comments if you agree with any of what I said today. I'm curious because I know how I feel about it. I'm really curious to what anybody else feels about it, and it'll leave it 100% open to discussion. So I would love to hear from you guys. That's going to do it for today. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, turn your notifications on, like the videos, share the videos. I hope you all have an amazing Monday. Have a fantastic rest of the week, and I will see you guys next time. Later.